Hello. Well, so, back when I did the record video, I came back. I might have said this already. I came back after dinner, and I recorded the CD thing, but there was a lot wrong with it. And I didn't have all my CDs. I don't quite. There's some in the car, but they're not ones. I'm just testing to see if I really want to keep them. Listening to them for once. But everything else is here. And a brand new one just arrived, so maybe I'll do a packaging. I don't know. We'll see. But anyhow, time to go through my CDs. Here's everything. That up there is a few of my parents' classical CDs. I'm in the middle of organizing onto my computer. It's such fun. Well. Oh no. Sorry, I just need a drink and need to figure out how to get my lighting to work well. I've got no idea. Let's hope this is good enough. Can you see? Yay. Alright, it's not too bad. Well, here's Bowie's debut album. So, no. Up here at this level, between my speakers, I've got, my Beatles, Pink Floyd, and Led Zeppelin collections. Mostly, really, just because there are lots of digipacks, which are these paper things. And then 2 Bowie CDs as well, because I've got other ones, but they aren't paper, but these 2 are paper, so they're here. Bowie's debut is very weird, and this is a great version of it with lots of extra tracks, mono and stereo. It's a lovely package. And look at the CDs. I wish every CD was just the record label, because isn't that great? It looks so nice. The debut is very weird, but I personally quite like it. Take a seat. Maybe this will be a bit better. Who knows? Then I've got the first Bowie CD I got. One of the first CDs I brought, probably. Cracked Actor. Live in LA 72. It's very, it's also paper, of course. 2 CDs. Lovely photos. It's very, like, soul-y and built up, and, like, it's a big production. It's like, saxes and everything. It's pretty wacky. And some of the songs are very different. Then their original, but I really like it. I really like it. I look weird. Then I've got this Beatles thing. The first one of many. No, it'll be long. I'll do my Beatles stuff here. I'll do them here. So this is the Beatles Bop Hamburg Days, which is 2 CDs, although it should have been 1. They just filled it up with a ton of junk. They did like 8 songs before they did Love Me Do and, got their career really going. They did 8 of these rock and roll songs with all but 2 of them have a different guy singing called Tony Sheridan, who's very Elvis-y rock and roll-y. I enjoy it a good bit. I should be back here. And it's got the thickest booklet from in any, also, record CDs. The thickest booklet. It's got like an actual spine. It's massive. And there's a more expensive version that I'm sure had even crazier stuff in there. But it's fun and it sounds good. Although it's quite compressed, some people say. Then I've got the 3 Beatles 1990s CD singles, which each have 4 songs. There's Baby It's You from Live at the BBC, Free as a Bird from Anthology 1, the first reunion, and the second reunion, Real Love from Anthology 2. Shame there was nothing for Anthology 3, so, like, this one has I Saw Her Stand, because the extras on these CDs, there are 3 songs that aren't, you know, aren't available anywhere else. So I think one of these songs isn't even on Live at the BBC Volume 2, because they were kind of redone later on. And this one has another take of I Saw Her Standing There, another thing of This Boy, and a remix of Christmas Time Is Here Again, which is a song that they did for Christmas single. This one's got Babies in Black, but with a different intro from Live at the Hollywood Bowl, although the song is an extra on the digital version from 2016. A remix of Yellow Submarine with more sound effects, and a funny intro by Ringo, and Here, There, and Everywhere, which is a nice little weird extra take. But you know, they aren't available anywhere else, so I figured I'd get them. That was quite a while ago. Okay, and then I've got Let It Be Naked with, it's good. They changed the sequencing, which is interesting, like the song order, which is interesting, like starting with Get Back, ending with Let It Be. It's a lot more normal for, you know, these days. It's not as, but anyhow, it's got Don't Let Me Down on there, which is great. I was at a restaurant on Sigur Rós Day with Andrea, who I just got back from visiting yesterday for a while. You'll see that video when it comes out. A guy played Revolver, and then played this. And I knew it was this album because, you know, the sequence, and I know some of the differences, like No Strings on Long and Winding Road, and so on and so on. But it's got this extra CD, apart from the normal album. I don't have the normal Let It Be. I just got this one when I was particularly inclined. It had been on sale. But it's got this thing called Free as a Bird, which is basically Fly on the Wall, which is basically like just random excerpts from the whole Get Back sessions, some of which are on the box set. Then I've got the 2009 Abbey Road, 2009 Yellow Submarine, 2009 White Album, Magical Mystery Tour, the remix of Sgt. Pepper. This was the first or second or third CD. It wasn't the first. I'll get to that. But I didn't even buy it myself. I asked my mom to pay for it. And I didn't know it was the remix until like 2020. So the remix is what I grew up on. Grew up, you say. Then I got the 2009, which I don't know why I did. So I guess I've got 2 CDs of Pepper and 2 records as well, even though it's not. I don't know if it's my favorite Beatles album. Yeah, it's one of the best. Now I've got 2009 Revolver, Rubber Soul, and Help. Well, they're all 2009. Rubber Soul, Help, Beatles for Sale, Hard Day's Night with the Beatles. For a long time, I didn't have Please Please Me, which I have now. Beatles for Sale, Yellow Submarine, Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road. But I just got them, but then I stopped filling out my collection again. Because what I would do back in like grade 9 when I first got into the Beatles was when I'd get my pocket money, I'd go to school, then after school I'd take the bus a bit farther, which takes me to this mall. And then I would secretly, I lied about what took me so long to get home. I don't know why, but I just did. I guess I felt guilty about it. And I'd go and spend my pocket money on $20, literally one Beatles CD. Like, they can charge what they want. Boy. but yeah, so I didn't. I figured out about I could take things from YouTube uh, after a while, so I just stopped getting the CDs. But I got most of them. I don't have Past Masters yet. I don't have Let It Be because I've got Let It Be Naked. I think that's it. I think it's otherwise complete. Then Motherload. Beatles in Mono. An amazing box set. Look, it's got the cover in a plastic thing, and it's got like, it's like a replica of the album. Like, it's even got like the folding and laminated and everything. And it is excellent. It is excellent. Issues I have with it. I guess their version of Past Masters, which is Mono Masters, doesn't have a few songs, which are Ballad of Joan and Yoko, Old Brown Shoe, and the single version of Let It Be, which is a shame. I kind of wish they included them anyway. But, yeah. And then I got the 30th anniversary version of the White Album because it's the best version around on eBay a while ago. And so I included it in here because it's kind of like, you know, the same kind of thing. A very faithful re-release. Yeah, this is an amazing box, and yes, it was quite expensive because I only got it in like 2019 or 2020 or something. But I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we come to Pink Floyd, where I don't have much. I've got just a few CDs. They're all the 2016 remasters, I think. I've got Piper, which I think is good. I've got More, it's in stereo, of course. I've got More, which I think is a very, very good Pink Floyd album. Not quite as good as Piper, but it's not, people don't consider it a classic, but I think it really is. Then I've got Dark Side of the Moon, which was the first one I got. And I remember I had this crappy little red CD player that my grandparents got for me, must be like $30. And Canadian, not even American. And I played the whole thing in one go and just stood there with my mouth hanging open. Then I got I got More because my friend sent me a song. They actually, way early in our friendship, sent me the song Cymbeline. And I was like, whoa, this is great. And so I got the CD. And they were like, well, I didn't know any of the other songs. And I was like, then I saw quite a bit later on that Wish You Were Here and Animals were together for like $10, so I got that. And I got Division Bell a long time ago, which I think is a good album. A bit, I don't know. It's very 90s, like very long and everything. Then I got the deluxe 30th, 40th, special edition of Piper at the Gates of Dawn, mono stereo, and an extra disc of other songs. There are a few more songs they could have included, but they didn't. And there are like no liner notes. It's just like a book of drawings. I wish they had more liner notes. I like liner notes. And then we've got Led Zeppelin, where I've got I'll switch sides for a second. There we go. First one up. Another friend in high school loved Led Zeppelin, and so in grade 9 we had science class together, and they told me, when I was like, you gotta listen to this Beatles song, or whatever, because I had just began getting into them. And she was like, okay, but only if you listen to Led Zeppelin. And I was like, okay. And so I go onto Spotify, and go into like the full Led Zeppelin catalog playlist. And you know the first song that comes on, my first exposure to Led Zeppelin? Black Mountain Side. Yes. Instrumental. That isn't even a complete song. It fades out of your time's gonna come. Whatever it's called. But yeah, it took, and so I didn't listen to them for a very long time. I got Mothership, and they were like, oh, you should have gotten that. She said. But anyhow, so then I got Led Zeppelin, which is a very good album. Well, it took me a long time to get into them because I'm not so much inclined towards the heavy music, you know. Like, I'm obsessed with Jimi Hendrix, but I wouldn't call him heavy. I like a bit of heavy when it's done by like artists I like, but when it's the Led Zeppelin, they're not that heavy because they do lighter stuff, you know. So then I've got a crappy broken case of the old Led Zeppelin 2, which I got. And then same with Led Zeppelin 4, I might have broken. Oh no, 4's fine. Same with Physical Graffiti. Broken, as you can see. There we go. And then I've got, finally, In Through the Outdoor, which I think is a nice album, but this isn't how you present. You don't, I basically I don't use these CDs very often. Because I barely listen to Led Zeppelin anymore anyway. But even if I did, it would probably be digital on my computer. Or whatever. But, like, imagine you have this in your car. It is going to shred. Like, it's terrible design. Outside of, like, for collectors only, you know. And yeah, that's this shelf. It's the family CD player we've had for ages. I just use it because it can plug into my speakers, and I've got this Anker Bluetooth speaker, which, in all honesty, is not very good. But it came at a time when I needed it, and so I cherish it. Yes. Okay. Now what? This is gonna be, you're gonna enjoy this so much. I wonder if I will bother to edit it. Oh, and I talked about never listening to my records, but I decided to, behind those shoes, to put up a few that I want to listen to, which has helped me a bit. And so I do listen to more records than I used to. Oh no, the covers. Okay, so here are a few albums that I will get rid of. The 2 jazz albums, because I don't think they'll sound very good. Tommy by The Who, because it's only disc 2 of a 2-disc set. I guess they were sold individually. Arkells High Noon, because it's not my kind of music. Van Halen 1984, also not my kind of music. And July 93, this weird compilation of stuff that I guess came out that month that I found at the library. They were like selling it. And I just ripped a few songs off there that I enjoy a bit. And we'll sell that. Okay. Okay. Here. Hey, this is much better lighting, isn't it? So let's start with The Visitors by ABBA. This is the Ooh, 2001 version. There was just a box set where they have like the best versions on CD of some of the albums, but not much one. So I guess you've got to get a very old CD for this one from 1997 or before. I don't know if this is quite the one. ABBA Gold, don't know why I have it. It's got a cool, it looks kind of like a CD single, like it's got a smaller ring. I like ABBA. Visitor is my favorite album, easily. Well, not easily, but it is. This was the first CD I got. I remember talking about it on one of my first days at school in grade 8. AC/DC, they're fun. I can't stand more than like half an hour of them, because then it just begins melting my brain. But I've also got CDs I found of If You Want Blood Live and Highway to Hell. And I've got other ones on my computer. Then I've got Best of Blondie, which is fantastic. I love Blondie. I need to check them out more. And it sounds great to me as well. And then here's my current small Bowie collection. I love Bowie. I've got a lot more on my computer. But they're from these old, like, West German CDs that someone ripped at one point. I've got Space Oddity, which is a good album. Quite good. Hunky Dory, which I don't know if I've been able to get into it as much as other people have. I certainly can't call it like a masterpiece of the highest order. It's good. I think I prefer Space Oddity a little bit more. Ziggy Stardust. This is every artist from most artists, some artists from late 60s and later, basically. Late 60s to, let's say, mid 70s have one classic or a few classic albums, like the ones that the critics go for, the people who only know one album that they go for, and everyone calls it a masterpiece of the highest order, like Velvet Underground and Nico. For the Velvet Underground, they don't look at Velvet Underground self-titled, they don't look at White Light, White Heat, they don't even often look at Loaded, and of course they don't look at Squeeze. No, it's always Velvet Underground and Nico. And for Bowie, that album would be Ziggy Stardust. I think it's good. It was the first Bowie album I got. Then there's A Lad Insane. A Lad Insane. I used to tell people that a lot. I'm kind of annoyed. And these really apparently not very good. Here, 1999 CDs of Lodger. It's very weird, but it's very good as well. And Heroes, which is of course very good, very good. Exceptional, I might say. I think, to me, I think it's like the one that I respect. Well, no. I think it is. I don't want to say I think it's his masterpiece, but I think when I'm listening, let's say I listen to all of his albums. It is, and I've never listened to anything past the 80s, after Tin Machine, and I haven't listened to Tin Machine, so that stuff doesn't count. But anything from beforehand, I think that it is his most artful record. People say so and so are I don't know, I don't want to say it's his best one because they're all good and I'll like them all, but I think that it's the most consistently amazing one. Even the instrumental things, even Secret Life and I love every bit of it. Anyhow, then I've got 4 Beach Boys twofers. which I found the same day in the used section of my local record store. There is Today with Summer Days and Summer Nights and bonus tracks. I think Today is a bit better. Summer Days and Summer Nights is sort of like a step back in a way. But yeah, in the back of my mind is wonderful. It's very good. And these are out of order. Then I've got All Summer Long and Little Do Scoop. Ooh, they made a mistake on the track list. They included I Get Around with Little Do Scoop, although you can't really see that. And then some bonus tracks. All Summer Long is good. It's good. I Get Around is fantastic. Little Do Scoop is okay. They aren't my favorites of that period. I think my favorite early one would have to be Not Surfing USA. The one with Fun, not Surfer Girl. I need to figure this out, sorry. Shutdown. Shutdown is my favorite. If only because of Fun, which I think is their best early song. I don't know. Everything about it is just totally perfect. Anyhow, then we've got Smiley Smile and Wild Honey. Smiley Smile is great. It was when I knew I had to listen to it high, and so I did, and it was fantastic. Wild Honey's pretty good. Yeah, the bonus tracks are. I've listened to them. They're okay. Friends is a morning album. That's first thing in the morning. I listened to it on a camping trip with some friends. Weird camping trip. Didn't go great. But made me and Bay a bit closer, I guess. But one morning, I got out of the tent and just went and walked down. I listened to Friends and I listened to Hendrix in the West as I went down this very steep hill to the water and then back up again. But Friends is excellent, and transcendental meditation at the very end is good. It's good. I'm able to get into it, and it's pretty wacky. 2020 might be my favorite album, at least because some of the songs on there I just adore. Do It Again, I Can Hear Music. Bluebirds Over the Mountain is funny. It's catchy, it's memorable, it's weird with like the crazy guitar, but it's funny. Dear With Me's good. All I Want to Do is funny because you can hear Dennis Wilson having sex at the end if you really turn it up. The Nearest Faraway Place is nice. Cotton Fields is such an earworm. I went to sleep it. I need to listen to. More Time to Get Alone is catchy. Never Learn Not to Love. Can't remember how it goes. Oh, that's the Manson one. He wrote it, or part of it. I don't remember. Our Prayer is amazing. It was in Our Flag Means Death. Great show. You should watch it. Gay Pirates. And Cabinescence, which is amazing as well. For the Beach Boys, I like Holland as well, but it's weird. I feel like Sunflower I need to get into more. It feels... it's weird. But I should really give it more of a chance than I have, even though I've given quite a few chances already. And I do like it. But I feel like I should like it more. Because, it's the deep cut masterpiece or whatever. Then, when I got back from a long time away, not having a great time some of the time, even though I had some of the best times as well, got Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers, and I was like, was this the right choice? Because I'd only listened to the album like once or twice, but I think it was the right choice. It's much better to hear on speakers than on headphones, I find. I can barely make out what she's saying on headphones. The Cars by The Cars, the only album I know by them. This is the original cover. It's in the booklet, so I flipped a few pages around. I think it's better than, the woman at the wheel. It's good. Weird. But I went through like a few days where I wanted to listen to it all the time. Surrender by the Chemical Brothers. This is great. The Sunshine Underground I heard on YouTube a long time ago. It's very good. It's got like some guest singers and things. I think one of the Oasis guys is on here. From on Out of Control, that's a catchy one. Asleep from Day is fantastic. Um, and I really like the more acoustic songs like Asleep from Day and Dream On or Surrender, one of them. Those are great. 10 New Songs by Leonard Cohen. Haven't listened to the full thing. Very late night album, I think. The Future by Leonard Cohen. A New Light as the Breeze. It's good. It's good. He's talking in a really, he's like singing in a really deep voice. I knew the Billy Joel cover of Light as the Breeze from the 90s for a while, which was my introduction to the album, I guess. I don't know which I prefer. I haven't listened to that thing in ages. I think Leonard Cohen's is probably artistically better. Communique by Dire Straits. I need to get into it more, but it's good. Angels of Mercy is so catchy. Love Over Gold by Dire Straits. I knew Telegraph Road for a long time. And then Private Investigations and Love Over Gold are on this one, Mark Knopfler and Dire Straits' Greatest Hits, which is good. Then I've got 2 Doors albums on CD. The Doors, which is a classic, but I feel I would have... The way I think it worked with them was because, Jim Morrison wrote a bunch of songs in like 65, 66, 67. No, 65, 66. Then I think he picked the best ones for the debut. And then from there, it was... Like, I think the debut was, writing-wise, the peak of them as a band, because they just had a whole ocean of material to pick from. Because they hadn't released anything at all. And so I think writing-wise, they only really went downhill from there. But I think it's a bit plain. Like, it's just like, sounds barely overdubbed. Sounds like them in an empty room or whatever. But, it's catchy. It's a classic. I really like Strange Days, so I'm not sure which one I prefer. But the album was released on, like, January 9th or something like that. And, there are 2 ways of going about that. Because if it's, like, if it was entirely finished, mixed and mastered and everything, the year before, like in 1966, then I considered a 1966 album, even though it came out in the first few days of 1967. But you could go from when, because that's the album for the artist was in 1966. But for the public, like its influence on other musicians, its influence everywhere was from 1967 on. So you could say it's a 1967 album, or you could go by the official release date, but I go by 1966, but that's just me. Their third album is weird. It's good though. Their Soft Parade is very different. I know that it's certainly different. Is it as bad? Is it their worst album? Second worst? I don't like LA Woman very much at all. Morrison Hotel, I think it's great. This was the first Doors album I ever heard, I think. The first CD I got. And Indian Summer is great, Roadhouse Blues is great. It's all very good. The only one I don't like is Maggie Miguel. I think it's easily their worst ending song. Well, I don't know about the Soft Parade. I don't like LA Woman very much. I like Hyacinth House because it sounds like the Doors up to and including Morrison Hotel, because they got rid of their producer, I think, and it changed everything to me. Like, I never noticed that kind of stuff, but there, with the Doors, I think them getting rid of their producer changed everything. Because the songs aren't, like, poppy, and they aren't, everything they were before. But Hyacinth House is good, and then, the big 2. LA Woman, and they're good as well. But I don't think it's got the same magic as the other ones. Although Hyacinth House is like one of the old songs. There's an old demo of it. Yeah. I feel like I have more to say about them, but whatever. Decade by Duran Duran. I knew Girls on Film because it was on an 80s compilation you heard as a kid. It's great. Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. I think my favorite Dylan album, my favorite Dylan period, is I guess Self-Portrait. Although I need to listen to Nashville Skyline and Self-Portrait more, but I'll say Self-Portrait to Basement Tapes, because Blood on the Tracks, Basement Tapes. But I usually consider Blood on the Tracks to come after Blunt on Blunt. My first Dylan album, although I'd heard Highway 51 years earlier but hadn't clicked with it, Exceptional. But I love all of those albums, although I haven't heard Self-Titled Dylan, the one he had nothing to do with. Eagles Hotel California, I haven't heard that in ages. It's just boring. Desperado is more interesting, but I also haven't heard it in a while. Don't know the last time I heard Hell Freezes Over. All Over the World by ELO. This one, lots of good songs. Tangoon the Night by Fleetwood Mac. Two of the road trip CDs we'd always play. Because before I got the AC/DC CD, my main thing with music was picking what CDs we'd listen to on road trips. Or, like, listening to the CDs that my parents put in. And so we had Rumors and Greatest Hits. And so the funny thing about this album is it's like, the first song is on Greatest Hits, the second song isn't, the third song is on Greatest Hits, the next one isn't, the fifth song is on Greatest Hits, the next one isn't. The seventh song is on Greatest Hits, the next one isn't, and I think that's all that's on Greatest Hits. But it's like, track you know, track you know, track you know, track you know. That's good. So by Peter Gabriel. Sledgehammer is fun, but I think I need to get into it a bit more, but it's good. I'm not into prog, but I've got Peter Gabriel. He's not really prog, is he? Neither is Pink Floyd, the way I understand it. But I've got no interest in listening to, Yes, or what are the other ones? I had a Yes CD, Magnification, but it was fine. I sold it. What are the other bands? Yes. I don't know. Then I've got Peter Gabriel 4, aka Security. It's pretty weird. I need to get into it a lot more. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? I think I got lucky. This is apparently one of the best CDs for a song. It's good. It's good. Very good. I only rarely get into a soul mood because it's quite different from, rock and everything. But when you're in the mood, when you're in the vibe, it's great. Rogue One, this is just a soundtrack. I don't even remember if it's that good. It's a soundtrack to Star Wars film. Part 1 or Part 2, Disc 2, like Tommy, but it's the greatest hits, so it doesn't matter as much, of Grateful Dead. So, yeah, I love the Grateful Dead. I love them, love them, love them. I think each of their first 6 albums, so up to and including American Beauty, was like, that's probably my favorite time from the debut to American Beauty. But well, no, not my favorite, but I think it's there's like a progression from each album, because like the first one is just pretty raw and a bit psychedelic. Then Anthem of the Sun, the best CD version here, the original mix, is it is really psychedelic. And then the next album, Axomoxoa, is even more psychedelic, and then but also a bit folky, and then, you know, Workingman's Dead and American Beauty are folky. But then after the success of those two albums, they went back and remixed Anthem of the Sun and Oxomoxoa. Oxomoxoa, I don't know how to say it. To make them more commercial or fitting with the sounds. There's not much you can do for this thing because it's a whack job. The I hate to say it because it sounds so cringy, but the kazoo and guitar riff thing at the start of Alligator is so catchy. It's painful, but it gets stuck in. It was stuck in my head for like 2 or 3 days. The remix for this one wasn't that different, and it didn't stick. The original mix did, but I think they lost the original mix for their third album, which I will not name anymore. And so until the 50th anniversary, only the original vinyl record, well, the original release, and this like crappy version only on record in a box that had the original mix. But I think the original mix, I mean, it's nice. It's not clear at all. It sounds not great. But they really, it's pure revisionism what they did with the remix. But it's nice to have both. Then I've got a few Hendrix CDs because I love my Hendrix. I've got the 1990s CD of Are You Experienced? It's the one with the weird covers, but this cover was in the liner notes, so like the card CD. Then I've got a final version of Electric Ladyland, but it's not the best version, it turns out. I thought it was for a while. And my personal compilation of his unreleased 4th album, which has songs from vinyl versions of his first few posthumous albums. I've revised it a bit because I've learned more things about it because it's an endless hole to dive into. There's supposed to be some box set that they almost missed but didn't. You could buy it on Amazon, but I didn't. But yeah, I love that material. Dolly Dagger, Easy Rider, good stuff. Buddy Holly, this CD sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm on this music forum that the guy who mastered it runs, but I've heard some bad stuff about him as a person and as an employee, but it sounds good all the same, and Buddy Holly's one of my favorite artists now. I thoroughly recommend. This is an excellent introduction because I just wanted more afterwards. The quality goes down because that is the best of his stuff, more or less, but it's great. And I've got some Billy Joel stuff. One CD in the car is Greatest Hits because I don't know if I want to keep it. I've got a tough time with Billy Joel because there's this weird way his songwriting works where he makes it about him subtly. Like maybe it's just the way he thinks or whatever, but everything's kind of like about him. I don't know, but you know, I love his debut album, not the 80s remix or the Chipmunks version, but the original vinyl version slowed down to the correct speed. That's what I like. The Stranger by Billy Joel is good. Stormfront is not very good, but I have it anyway. And River of Dreams is not very good either, but it is nostalgic. Then I come to Elton John. I've got Diamonds, Greatest Hits Volume 3, Live in Australia. The CD is so quiet. Like, you've got to turn like the knob on the car stereo for like a full 3 seconds or something before you can hear anything. Then I've got another CDR. This is the Kingston Village Green Preservation Society, which is excellent. It's got the UK mono track list, also taken from vinyl, and then the European and Random Other Countries stereo one, which only has 12 songs and has Days and Mr. Songbird, which I think is also a very good version of the album. I've got this weird comedy show CD by Dennis Leary. I think he was one of the guys in Ice Age. It's got a song called Asshole, which is very good, and a few other songs as good, and a bunch of comedy, which I don't know if I want to even listen to. Summertime Dream. This has Wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald. Is it bad luck to listen to Wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald while you're on a ferry? Maybe, but I did. And it all went okay. It's great. I love Gordon. And then I've got Child's Play by Alice Phoebe Lou, which is exceptional. I should be getting another copy at some point that's signed by her, but my uncle is getting it for me because he went to a show that she put on in a park. It's like a free show, very hippie-ish. But I didn't tell him that I already had that CD, so he got that one signed for me. Should have gotten Glow. But oh well. Red Rose Speedway by Paul McCartney. I love this album. McCartney 1 and Ram, the CD versions made by the guy who did the Buddy Holly CD, and they sound fantastic. Egypt Station, which is a good album, I think. I think it's very good. Tripping Live Fantastic, which I haven't listened to in a long time. It was my introduction to a lot of his other songs. Then we come to the Monkees, where I've got Monkees' Greatest Hits, which apparently doesn't sound very good. I got it in England, but you know, they're fun. I need to get into them a bit more. Then I've got Days of Future Past. Moody Blues, they're another prog band, aren't they? But this album isn't very prog. I mean, it's just like orchestral stuff. Orchestral pop. Rock, I guess. This is the remix. It's very good, but I just listened to the original mix a little while ago. And, I mean, they aren't that different, but I didn't expect to enjoy the original mix as much as I did compared to this one. Like, I think it just works so much. It's so natural that this one feels a bit forced sometimes. Arganville by Moxie Fruitless. I love this album. It is... I mean, you've got to have, like, a sense of humor for it, because a lot of it's just, like, funny. But I can't say this about anything else, but every time I listen to it, I literally hear something new, like some funny joke they're saying in the backing vocals, or a little interjection that some person makes of whatever. But it's got, like, it's insane. Like, it goes from a song about the space dog Laika to their take on the Spider-Man theme to a song the CBC asked them to write about the Gulf War. Like, it's insanity, but I love it. One of the guys is Jian Ghomeshi, which, if you know his name, you know he's not a good guy. To put it plainly, very bad man. But you know, the sum of the parts, and like there are 3 other people that are not Jian Ghomeshi. And this is like 1990 or 91 as well, so was he as bad a person? I don't know, I just like to keep him a bit separate from it, because he isn't the only one. Then I've got Perth County Conspiracy, which is very good. I love Hurdy Gurdy Man and I Shall Be Released. I Shall Be Released. I listened to it on a hill the first time I played it. On a hill looking up at the sky. And it sounded like the heavens were about to open up and bring me in. It's amazing. Elvis one, have hardly listened to this. Maybe I should. Every Breath You Take by The Police, the singles. Barely listened to this. I put it on my computer though, unlike Elvis. So I will. And then... oh no. Hello. There's a bit more. Monty Python Saints. It is pretty wacky. I don't know what to think about them anymore because they're not very politically. They aren't very politically correct, are they? But I've got like a Blu-ray box set of them and stuff that I got a long time ago. I don't know. I don't know what to think because you can think a thing right and you can think a thing wrong. Night in Heaven by Queen. This album is good. You know, it's totally it's overdone to the maximum in every possible way. But, I still enjoy it. It's like a fun album to just put on in the summer and just lay back to. Well, do something else while you play it. I wish it had the original version of Lightning Lip. It's got the censored version. But on computer, I've got the original version. No Lonesome, I got this CD in Ireland. It's very good. I like it a lot. Not as good as the very early Stones, of course, which are my favorite. Like the early Stones. Like not fade away period Stones. Then I got this album, Rarities, for a few random tracks I was missing. And then I've got some other Stones. I've got the vinyl version of Aftermath on CDR, which I made into a double album, which is good. Between the Buttons, which is, gosh, it's pretty wacky, but I think it's good. Good, bad, good. Listen to it in stereo like it is here. I couldn't get into it, but the mono version is easier. But it's just a really weird, like it sounds weird, like it's really produced. Sticky Fingers, I think by this time they'd definitely gotten into a formula. And so it's not my favorite. But, you know, it's very well made. It's certainly crafted very well. Goat's Head Soup, this album's great. It's such a vibe. And It's Only Rock and Roll is good at times. And if you just want to listen to, like, you know, the Stones being basic, well, not basic, but like not trying that hard, it's good. You've got to be in the mood though. Then, okay, this isn't, I don't know. I think this might be a bit better. Yeah. Hello. Then I've got, I go on and on and on. I know. I've got some Sigur Rós albums. Kveikar, it's good. Bernstein is great. Valtari, love this one. Isn't that such a nice cover? I love it. It's quite ambient, but it's great. And then my favorite, of course, I think Valtari would be my second favorite, is Agatis Björn. That's what I call it. It is an album that Andrea and I bonded over very early on. And it's close to my heart, and I think it's a lovely, lovely album. Santana's Greatest Hits. It's good. Ooh, here we get to some stuff. Paul Simon, You're the One. This is a nice, relaxed album. It's nice to put on in the evenings. It's good. It's good. I like it a lot. Graceland, classic, of course. I should listen to it more. It's nice, I guess. Bridge Over Troubled Water. This is the Simon Garfunkel album, I think. You know, it's, as I say, the big one. Like Velvet Underground and Nico and all that. But I think this album is perfect in every way. Like, you know, there's some weird songs, like Bye Bye Love and Why Don't You Hurt Me and stuff, but I think they just add to it. I love those songs. And Greatest Hits. I don't know, their albums before that never seemed to be very consistent to me. We've got another CDR. What is this? This is their complete singles taken from vinyl, so it's different mixes sometimes. Then I just picked this up a little while ago at Value Village. Cat Stevens, Stephen McCameron. I've barely listened to him, I know. I know Father and Son from one of the Awesome Mix albums, which are what got me into music past CDs for the car. But that's it. And I had the Foreigner album on record, but I never played it once. Maybe I still do. Steely Dan. I don't know how much I want to get into Steely Dan, but this album was really hard to get into, but once I know like how the songs go and what sounds will come, then I begin to get it. I think it's an album to know well. Then I've got Supertramp, Crime of the Century. I know well. I always couple it with Dark Side of the Moon for some reason. Maybe because of the album cover. I have listened to this album a total of once. Breakfast in America. Then, like, Best of Tchaikovsky, because he's pretty good. Traveling Wilburys is a lovely album. It's so fun. It's just pure fun. Here, like, Heading for the Light and Congratulations and Rattled and Handle with Care and Every Line and Everything. It's just simply fun. Played it today, actually. Then we come to U2, which I've got a bunch of U2, but I don't listen to them that much. I will listen to them more. I've got October, which I never listened to. Joshua Tree, I've heard a few times. The hits are very nice, of course. Pop, I plan to get into more because it sounds like Surrender by the Chemical Brothers a bit. So of course I want to hear that. It's like electronica kind of. Under a Blood Red Sky. I need to listen to that one more. I've heard it a few times though. War, haven't heard it at all. Rattle and Hum, this one's weird. I like Van Diemen's Land. The other tracks I'm not so sure. And I used to really be into Achtung Baby. But, it's upside down. What do you know? But the last time I listened to it, I really did not like it as much. So that's them. Then we get, this is getting weird. UB40, Dance with the Devil is nice. The other ones, I don't know. And this thing, God. I'm just gonna turn the lights on. Because it is day outside. I forgot. Okay. God, this is going along 58 minutes and 12 seconds. Yippee! I'm sitting on my bed. This thing is, there's a nice story behind it. This guy was at the university at UCSC in California in 1967, and he heard some music playing down the hall in the dorm, and it was this hitchhiking woman who just popped in. Couldn't stay for the night, you weren't allowed. And he said, "Oh, can I record you on my reel-to-reel machine?" And she was like, "Sure." And so she plays 11 covers, which are so good. Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, I think, is better than Dylan's version by a long shot. And the other songs are great too. It's on Bandcamp for $1, and I so recommend. It's just her with her guitar. Guitar on one side, vocals on the other. It's just so fun and so happy. And it ends with Buddy Bolden's Blues, which I think is a nice send-off to the world of music, you know. Then I've got the best of Van Morrison and, okay, I don't know how to do this anymore, and Moondance. They're good. I love his stuff with them, but I need to listen to it more. Then I got the CD I got on Sigur Rós Day, same as Paul Simon one. I got that on Sigur Rós Day too, where it is 50, 50 years of the CBC jazz show, which I've barely listened to, but I thought, hey, that'll be fun. Then I've got White Light, White Heat by the Velvet Underground, which is a lovely album. I think it is just as... I don't know why people love Velvet Underground and Nico more. I think that one is more commercial. Like, White Light, White Heat isn't very commercial, but I think it's even more artistically... artistic. I think it's even more artistic than View and Nico, since... Because it's like kind of like hypocritical. Well, I don't know the right word, but it's like, oh, we love this album because it's so like avant-garde and so arty and so like, you know, left field and everything. But White Light, White Heat is so much more than and Nico. So, but they all like, oh, this album's not as good. Because they don't like an 8-minute short story, spoken word with the band jamming in the background. But I love that. I love The Gift. Like, you hear a new thing every time. It's history, and I heard her comment, like, every song on there is fantastic. Then I've got my War on Drugs CDs, because I love them as well. I've got Lost in the Dream, which is my favorite. Well, no, it's the only album I knew for the longest time. And then I got A Deeper Understanding, which I need to listen to more, but it's good. And I only listened to... I saved this CD, their newest album, I Don't Live Here Anymore. I saved it to listen to for special occasion, and so when I took some gummies, I listened to it, and it was so good. So, can't wait to get into it more. Their first 2 albums are good. I think I need to get into them more, especially the second one. But good. Then with The Who, I've got that Tommy part, disc 2 of Tommy, and then I've got Who's Next, which I don't know. And, oh, I got lucky. This is the best sounding CD. Also, by the Buddy Holly guy. And it was only in Canada, and I found it. Who's Next and Who Are You? I don't think I like the, you know, rock singing that Roger Daltrey does at all anymore. It used to be what I loved, but I don't think it's my vibe anymore at all. But I have them because I have them. Star Wars Force Awakens, just another soundtrack. It's fun. I think the X-Wing song is good. This is the best CD for Songs in the Key of Life, and it's a very good album. I like it a lot. I don't think I'm the biggest... Like, I should be a bigger Motown head. And then almost lastly, we've got Neil Young. I've got Harvest Moon, which is great. I love Unknown Legend, Harvest Moon, the title track. One of these days, Such a Woman. Old King's funny. It's so out of place. Like a song about like a country song or whatever about his dog. But it's good. Dreaming Man is great, and Natural Beauty is amazing. I could just listen to that song on repeat for the longest time. That's great. Unplugged is fun too. Those were the only ones I had for the longest time. Then I found Everybody's Rocking, but it had pre-emphasis, which is a thing that old CDs from the early 80s had. And so I got rid of it. Even though you couldn't notice because it's such thin, it's like one of the worst produced albums that I know of. Because it's not lo-fi, it's just really cold and digital. Like there's like the drums barely sound like drums. It sounds so weird. But I like it a lot though, I listened to it quite a bit. And then just when I was at Value Village as well, I got After the Gold Rush, which I've never heard. One of his big albums. And I'll get to that. So... Oh, I like his debut as well, but it's weird. Now, to tear open the brand new CD. and you can see what it is. And I don't show you my address. How I'll do that? I don't know. Because the camera has to like angle. Oh, just be bright. I don't know. Hey, that's good. Here we go. It arrived while I was away. I've got to be careful not to show you the other side. Because it's got all my info on there. Okay, you've got the front cover. And I twisted it around so that you can see it when it comes out. Leave it in the comment. I don't know. Do you know which one? Do you know which one? Do you know which one? There it is. Yeah. Hear My Music by Jimi Hendrix. You can only buy this one online, unless you get it used, I guess. From Dagger Records, the official bootleg label. But, I mean, this stuff is apparently better than the last 3 posthumous albums they put out, which should be, if this is on the bootleg label, then those should be too. But it should be officially released, probably. Can't wait to hear it. Got rave reviews. Pricey, because, I don't often buy brand new CDs. Or through the mail. But, there's no other way to get this stuff, so I had to. There are 2 other ones that I'm eyeing. There is Burning Desire, which is more of this, but not quite as good. And it wasn't available. And then one called Morning Symphony Ideas, which has some, like, 4, like, a half-hour jam. Like, some, like, it's really random stuff. It's got, like, a 20-minute demo of just him playing a song on his guitar. Like, a 1-minute acoustic strumming thing. And then, like, 4, like, jam type songs. But here we go. It's such a nice cover, isn't it? Hear My Music? Oh, if it's an unboxing, I guess I should unwrap it. Isn't it labeled it so nice? You can't really see it, but I like the coloring. Oh, you don't care. You're just here for the laughs. Okay, I'm not sure. It's so tight. Now, this is Prime Entertainment. Nothing I do is Prime Entertainment. And I don't just mean on YouTube. I think I've got it. Okay. Tiny piece of plastic came off. And another tiny piece of plastic came off, but... Oh, I know. I can use... There we go. I used a bit of charger. Little charging cable. So pop it up. Another tiny piece. There we go. Isn't it nice? Another tiny piece. Here, now it'll peel. Through the paper. It's so nice. Oddly, r/oddly satisfying. I haven't been there in a long time. On a Reddit. And there we go. Can't wait to read those liner notes. Anyway, this has been long enough. 1 hour, 10 minutes. Oh, I've got to make it to 1:11. So you're just going to have to wait here with me for a little while. Hope your day's going well. I'll probably have to go to dinner soon. I'm kind of tired. I didn't get what I wanted to do done today. I unpacked, but I didn't do any of the other stuff. Okay, bye-bye.